Hey everybody, Jeffrey here. I got a real crazy video here, the 400 million mile zoom on Jupiter. I'm using the Lumix FZ80 versus the Nikon Pics P900. I know that it's 400 million miles because this is where the planets are now. Here is Earth. Jupiter's way over here to the left. And I looked it up, and at the closest approach possible is about 438 miles. So I'm knocking off almost 40 million miles because they aren't perfectly lined up. And I'm not sure where we are on the ellipse for Jupiter. But I think we're close enough at 400 million. I'll start with the FZ80 video and stills and photos, and then finish it off with the P900 video and photos of Jupiter and the moons. So here is the FZ80, and you really have to look hard, but you can see the moons there. I don't know if you can see the moons. I can see the moons here on my screen, but they will be, let me stop this just for a second here. The moons are at an angle from the upper right to the lower left. There's 4 moons. There's 2 over here that are tight together, and these are spread a little farther apart. There's one way out here, so they're circling this, orbiting this way. Actually, they're going around this way, I think. So let's continue that. There's really not much to see. You could see, I'll go back up here a little bit. Let me stop. Oh, now you can see a moon up here. There's another moon. The other 2 are down here. You can't see them. They sort of come and go, but look at the moon. I mean the Jupiter. It's you know, it's a little fuzzy. The P900 is a lot more clear actually, but I was surprised that I could even see moons with this camera at all. So we'll go ahead, and you can see those moons coming and going on it at an angle here, that diagonal. And the moon is directly above Jupiter here. You can't see it, it's not in the picture, but it's right up above. You'll see it in the P900. Here is a still photo from the FZ80 video that you just saw, and here is one of the moons. Another moon down here, you can't tell, but there'll be one here, there's another one here, and then these 2 are close together down here. So we'll just another one. This was weird. There was an object out there, and you can see it right here. It's kind of an oblong looking thing, and it just came and went. I didn't even know it was there until I looked at the picture. Here we are again, the 2 moons. They come and go. Like you'll see 2 moons, and then you'll see this one and that one. You can see them a little bit there. So this is the FZ80, and apparently you can see the moons on Jupiter, but you can see where they are, but you can't really see them that great. Now here's a photo from the FZ80, and no matter how, and this is on a tripod and everything, because they're moving, and I think the camera just does this. I don't know why. And thank you, Windows, for giving me that little message, because I can't do a video without halfway through the video, and it knows I'm taking a video. It flashes that thing on the screen. It's so annoying. So here's the moons again. There are actually two of them down here. This is kind of a far away shot. And okay, this is zoomed in a little bit with the eye zoom. You can magnify that a little.
No, this week it's kind of like snack.
Okay, sorry about the interruption there. And now the Nikon Coolpix P900. We'll start with the video and then stills after. So here we have Jupiter below the moon. That's the moon up there. The little tiny dot below the moon is Jupiter. This is on a tripod, so if it's shaky, it's probably because the house is shaking or something. And then notice the autofocus on the P900 is just so stupid. And then if you put it on manual and you're zoomed in at all, it just takes forever. But you finally do get something if you keep messing with it. And that's pretty much, now hopefully I'll be able to zoom in on this. And this is on a tripod kind of. Okay, now hold it right there. Oops. Now we can see the moons. One here, 1, 2, 3. 3 moons at once. You see those little, this is a little clearer than the FZ80. Now there's 2 moons. One here, one here. One here, one here. And this took me so long to do all of this that the moons actually changed position, but there are 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where you would be looking. And I zoomed it way in for some reason. I guess I wanted to see how close I could get it. And I spent the rest of this video looking for Jupiter. Finally had to back it out and start over again. You can see the moons. They're hard to see, but they are there, and you can see 4. There they are, kind of spread out. I'll have still shots of this, so I know this is hard to see. I don't even know if you can see it from your end on YouTube after uploading and everything. But the moons are there, and this is the P900. That's as clear as I can get it. So that, I believe, is the full zoom with optical everything. So it's 83 plus. According to the book, it could go up to 120 max. Well, looks like I found it again. I noticed that the picture was a lot better if you're slightly zoomed out. Like right here, you can just barely see those moons, but you can see them. You know, keep in mind these things are 400 million miles away too. That's going to have some effect. Now this was done using manual focus, and the reason that you see it focusing in and out is because I was trying to get the best picture, but it was so hard to see those moons in the screen on the camera, and in the viewfinder you couldn't see anything. And here we go, one last zoom in here. Might be able to slow that down a little bit, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So that's it, P900 wise. So here is a still shot from the video, and I have to go frame by frame to even just get a shot where it shows the moons. I can usually get 3 moons. I couldn't really get all 4 moons in unless it was an actual photo. Another shot. I'll just go through these are stills from the video. You can see one moon there. This one you can actually see two moons, three, barely see this one. The two again. These are stills from the video. That's not a bad shot there. You can actually see three of the moons. There's two over here. So the P900 does show the moons, I think, better than the FZ80 as far as the clarity goes. They both show the moons, which is kind of, I was surprised actually. There's another one, just the moons. Can't see the stripes on Jupiter though. If I take my 8-inch reflector telescope up to about 10,000 feet, I used to be able to see the stripes and the moons very clear. You could even see them transiting the planet itself. But now, looking through the chemtrailed skies, I don't know if you can see anything better from 10,000 feet than you can from here. And this is in the smoggy Sacramento Valley. Another shot. Oops, I do have some photos though. Now here's one, and that's not bad. It shows three of the moons you can see. And you can just barely see that other one. It's a little down from this one. It's right. Move it around maybe. Same shot. Again, P900. This was a weird stripe I saw in some of the pictures. I don't know what that is. It's just a light blue, long stripe, kind of with a very ever so slight curve to it. That could be from the camera. Here we go again. This is probably the only one where I can see all four of the visible moons. I think there's more than 4 moons, but these are the big ones, and you can see them. They're all there. Another shot. Here's a blown up of that, and the moons. This one up at the upper right is the one that seems to show up the best overall, so it's probably the biggest moon. Alright, so let's get to the pictures. Here's a picture of the moon with Jupiter down here. And I'm not sure if that's up. It actually shows glimmers of planets there, or not, of the moons, or what. And fairly light chemtrailing. But if you look at these stars here, they're kind of, see the way they're kind of slotted? Well, that's what happens because everything's moving, you know. Unless you got a tracking tripod or something. So I think that those marks you see around there are actually the moons. And this is just a straight shot picture. No, I don't even think I was zoomed in. Oh, actually, I think I was zoomed in a little. Another picture of the moon. This is the modern moon here with the chemicals in the air. So there you have a comparison between those two cameras, you know, zooming in on Jupiter, which is actually a pretty hard thing to do because these digital cameras are so hard to focus on these lights. So if you're thinking about getting either one of these cameras or have either one, this will hopefully give you something to compare to, but I think you're just better off having them both because the P900 does take the much clearer, sharper pictures with you can see there's a lot less noise in the picture, whereas the FZ80's got a lot of noise, but it does zoom in, it does show the moon. So I prefer the FZ80 overall. Just that's kind of my go-to camera because it's light, it's easy to carry. And it takes some pretty darn good pictures. Well, I hope that was a helpful video, And I think I'm going to get back on that Antarctica video that I've been working on for months. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.